Hello everyone and welcome to the Captain's Video Blog. We are Friday, October the 28th, 2016. If you see both my hands, it's normal because I'm using my computer's webcam. If that wasn't obvious enough by, the lower resolution and all probably the beeping. For some reason there's always this beeping sound when I record videos with my computer's webcam. Then again, really helps with the file size. I think that videos around 10 minutes are only 80 or maybe 100 megas, so that's much better than a whole gig for a video. Then again, I don't really trust my computer because, well, recently it's been overheating pretty fast. So yeah, we'll see. Uh, anyway, why am I using my computer instead of my phone? It's not that I couldn't watch anime, even though that definitely didn't happen, me watching anime. It's mainly because, well, my phone has had one of those episodes where, well, I maybe should have seen that coming when it turned off around in the middle of the well, and in the start, maybe it was around 7 p.m. With still something like 15% battery, but I didn't think much of it because it was still 15% battery, so not a lot, in danger zone. So yeah, but yeah, the moment where it really fucked up was around midnight, actually, when my phone was still around 40% and it turned off. And well, yeah, it's the second time actually that it does that since I've had this telephone. First time was around 2 years ago, actually. I think, yeah, it was or maybe it was only yeah, it was around 2 years ago, beginning of 2015. Yeah, uh, it turned off and it wouldn't turn on again. And I plugged it to the computer as I often do, and the screen was black and there was the light saying that it was loading, well, at least that the battery wasn't full. So I assumed that everything was fine, but the screen wouldn't turn on. So I looked for solutions. I went to phone repairing shops. Nothing really helped until, well, I mean, I probably spent a week or two with an older phone because you can't, when you are living in an apartment and there's no telephone of your own, you have to have a way to contact other people, especially when you are working in groups, or um, when you have to tell your parents when to pick you up from the train. So yeah, I had to use one of the old telephones that are in the house. But yeah, then I found a solution, and it was that I had to let my phone plugged in for 24 hours. So that completely eliminated the keeping the phone plugged in the computer. I used my own cable, with the 200 volt, and it worked really. So yeah, I cannot emphasize enough how I don't trust a lot of cables, like the white cables that my mother uses. That's definitely a big no. There's this one cable that probably caused what I think is a short circuit. Well, yeah, didn't really work well anyway. It took really long to charge my phone, and when I, whether it was on the computer or on one of those batteries, and the worst even on the batteries was that it made the light blink, you know supposed to blink only when there are notifications, and there wasn't really any notification to be there. So yeah, this cable, I guess I can forget it. But then again, aren't a lot of cables at home, so I guess we're gonna have to just well, buy a lot of cables, because that's not really a situation that's really viable. Yeah, but you know, that was only the culmination of a pretty shitty day, because you know, one thing that I didn't mention in yesterday's video weblog, I finished pretty strong with everything that suddenly popped into my mind. Um, yeah, something that I completely forgot to talk about was that, well, today was the start of the Autumn Baby Cup, and A was facing JP for the first time in their entire career. I think besides friendlies, I'm not sure. Maybe there's been an A versus JP in friendlies. I'm not entirely sure, but definitely not in the cup. And well, you know, for the record, JP walks out of the first ever encounter between the two teams with a victory, a 2-0 victory. That was that could have been maybe, you know, not as bad, because, well, the game crashed on the first time around. So A went, you know, the conditions are really RNGesus, really random, and don't really matter at the kickoff, but they do matter in the rest of the game, and probably a bit on, you know, during the game. I'm not entirely sure of how Pro Evolution Soccer 16 works, so I can't really be sure that I'm not, you know, speaking out of my ass. But still, yeah, A has been completely dominated from, you know, one to another, and even when the referee helped A, well, the strikers, they really couldn't do the job. So yeah, after that was out versus Po, and out won 4-3 with a goal in injury time, which, yeah, doesn't sound well for Sunday. But yeah, I mean, the conditions were really bad for A. Like, it went for from 2 reds and 2 orange players to just the 2 orange, while JP kept their 4 red players. So yeah, you cannot really compete with that, I guess. But yeah, we're not SP, so the managers won't be sacked in the morning. I mean, even in SP, I don't think that the managers are going to be sacked in the morning, considering that they won their first match. I think it was against TG, who weren't nearly aggressive enough, nowhere near aggressive enough to really make SP wonder if they could walk out of that with an L instead of a W. So yeah. What else? What else? I mean, I'm really a bit miffed about this whole thing, because I had taken out, you know, my other 2 terabyte hard drive to move around, well, all the old video weblogs, the ones from September to when I just decided that, oh, monthly folder, that's a lot of bullshit. So yeah, probably from September to May. And well, that freed just around 400 gigs on the other hard drive. And well, I mean, I guess I could have waited. You know, I've done that because, well, I mean, during the weekend and probably a bit of the week, I'm not sure. I have family coming over. So yeah, we'll see tomorrow. Probably going to have to do the same thing. I hope not. But we'll see. Anyway, is there anything else I want to talk about? Nah, really not. Paris has won against Lille. Uh, I've seen the Raptors just lose by that much against the Cavaliers, which is really a change considering that yesterday, during the video blog, that's what pushed me to mention Halloween in America. I was watching football, American football, between the Tennessee Titans, and I don't really understand. Maybe it's for the alliteration that they aren't called the Nashville Titans, but still, completely, walk all over the Jacksonville Jaguars. 35 to 21 really doesn't reflect the whole match because the Jaguars only woke up during the last quarter. So yeah, but you see, I would want to see a bit of collegiate football, a bit of NCAA in France, because it seems like the stakes are just so much higher in college than in the NFL. And there's also more to talk about. For example, the sporting spirit. They are really doing it for the sport. So most of those players won't end up in the NFL, and they aren't even paid for the 3 years they are playing sports in front of hundreds and hundreds, sometimes tens of thousands of people, and they aren't paid because they cannot, and they cannot take any kind of present for their participation. And that's pretty much what slavery is all about. But yeah, so they are really doing it for the sport to represent their university, and I think that it's a very, very uncommon thing. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Well, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Finger crossed.